I'm doing a garden plan. I'm looking down from a drawing, whatever, and all the measurements are in feet, and I don't know with any precision what the angles are, but I've got 70 feet, 70 feet, 70 feet and 40 feet, say. My challenge was to actually map that onto Blender. Simple enough, you might have thought, but it took me a while to get it. And as ever, there is quite possibly more than one way to do it. The way I went about doing it was start off with our delete our cube, and then look down from above, looking across to the paint.net again. So that's what we want to achieve. So first thing I did was we're in object mode, do a Shift A, mesh, plane. By default, my settings were in meters. So because I've got the measurement in feet, I may as well write the thing in feet. Where do I find where to set meters or feet? Search box here, start typing units, and we see that it comes up as metric. I haven't set the default. I'm just going to set this to imperial for this one, that is feet. If I look at the properties of this plane, we see we've got 6.5 feet, and I want 70. So the way I'm going to do this, do a 40 foot here and a 70. I'll start off with a kind of right angle, I guess. So that means that my 40 is going to be here and my 70 is going to be here, and we're a long way off that at the moment. So if I put in for my X dimension 70 feet, see how it likes that, that's okay. And for my Y dimension to start with, what will I do there? Yeah, let's call that 40 for now, and we'll shrink that down. So those are our dimensions, 70 wide, 40 across. Right now, not terribly close to this shape. Now, there may be better ways to do this, as ever, but I don't know what they are. What I need, I think, is the measuring thing. So I can click here. So that's now kind of live, 40, and this is 70. But now I want to go into edit mode. It's already set to vertex. So what I want to do is effectively grab this vertex here, and drag it up until it looks kind of 70-ish. Before I do that, let's move the viewport, and then therefore the origin down a bit. So I've got G selected. I've got the vertex selected there. We'll do a G, and then I'm going to move the mouse. So that is that kind of 70-ish. Well, we'll find out in a minute. This should still be 70 wide. I think that previously items said what the dimensions were, the X and the Y. But of course now this is a much more irregular shape. I can forgive it for kind of saying, nah, not playing with that. What would be great is to instantly be able to know what the sizes of the objects were, of the edges were, by hovering, but right now I don't know how to do that. Also, snapping might help me, but I'm not really sure in what way right now. So something I could do actually is I'm thinking that if I were to grab this and then move it down in an arc, but I don't know how to guarantee that I'm going to move it in an arc. I can guarantee I could move it in an X, a Y or a Z, but I don't right now know how to guarantee that it's in an arc. Because I can drag it down here and that'll be 70, but when I put it back up again, how do I do that? Don't know. For now then, let's go just using the measuring tool. If I click on, say, let's take the top vertex here, I want to know what is that, and it's 63, give or take. So now I'm going to grab and extend that vertex until it's, say, 70-ish. And I think this is all about just tweaking things, because I don't really see how else you can do it. So I'm now going to go back to the select box The trouble is now I've taken away my measuring, my ruler. So what I'm going to have to do, I can't, so that was the wrong move evidently, to just go on to the selection. I need to see, and that's not what I want at all. I don't want that. But interestingly, that gives me an angle. But anyway, I don't want that, so delete that. So evidently, I must have grabbed the measurement. I didn't grab the vertex. So if can I select it like that? No, that's not just giving me another. That's not what I want either. So if I go back to, I had this and now I don't, do I? So let's go back here. And in fact, I was being stupid there, wasn't I? Getting my noobiness. If I do a G and then a move is what I want. So if I go up here, I should know that by now. Oh, I forgot. So that's 70 give or take. If we come down here, I can pivot this now. And so if I do a grab in, muscle memory kind of takes over. Because to me, in Windows anyway, left click and move the mouse is a grab and a move, and it's not that for most things I find in Blender, but it is evidently for moving the measuring stick, let's call it. So 70 give or take, 70 give or take. We need this to be 70 give or take. So what I've been doing actually is kind of pivoting these axes. So put that up there and then move this round here until it says 70. So I kind of was gunning for this being continuing to be a right angle, this here. So I don't really want to move this down here. Therefore, my only options are to move this one up here, but I don't want to make this any longer than it is. I'm happy with that size. So what that suggests to me is I need an arc that kind of keeps this edge the same length, which kind of means doing this kind of thing, I think. If I grab the measuring stick and do something like that, it feels as though that might, if I'm lucky, kind of be it. Okay, so that's the measuring stick. If I now go to the vertex here, so that's selected, always remembering that the measuring icon selected down here, and I now do a G, and then I move it to this one here and click, and return a couple of times just for confidence, and then we go back to, so that's 70 give or take. That is 70 give or take, and that is also 70, and is this 40? And it is more or less, that's good enough. That kind of tolerance, I'll say, is acceptable. So yeah, so that's roughly the garden shape that I was after. Yeah, job done.